If you're new to crafting or maybe setting that as a goal for the new year and asking for some supplies for Christmas, I've got you covered. Here's a list of 9 supplies that will get you through a ton of different projects. Number one is embroidery floss. I like to buy them in every color of the rainbow, plus black, brown, and cream. I don't really go for white because it's a little bit too stark and I don't reach for that very often. If you don't have any floss, I would definitely buy one of each color, but in a light shade and a dark shade per color. The next item is cardboard bobbins or cardstock bobbins. You can buy these in a multi-pack of like 50 to 100. You can buy plastic bobbins also. I personally prefer cardboard bobbins because I can write the DMC number on the actual bobbin. And that way I can keep track of what I am using, what I'm running out of, and what I need to restock. Three is embroidery scissors. These are obviously not essential. You can pretty much use any scissors for embroidery and trimming your floss, but I find that they are great for just getting into tiny spaces when you want to trim your floss down as much as possible. I also use my embroidery scissors for my felt craft, which you've probably seen me use if you've seen my videos before. They're great for getting into little corners to cut out felt shapes. I'm probably not supposed to use them for felt, but I use them anyway, so they worked out so far. Next up is embroidery needles in multiple sizes. You'll probably only end up using the 1 inch or 1.5 inch needle the majority of the time, but it's just nice to have other options, especially if you have a thicker project that you're working with, like a hat or a sweatshirt. So, highly recommend one of those multi-packs. They're also really inexpensive, so you're not spending a ton of money for multiple sizes anyway. Next is silicone thimbles. I just bought a multi-pack on Amazon because I wasn't sure what size I needed, and I only really fit like 3 of these, and the rest are just there. So, if anyone needs a large thimble, I've got some. I don't really use these to prevent myself from getting poked when I'm stitching. I do use them, however, for extra grips. If I'm working with any kind of thick material like a hat, I'll put these thimbles on my pointer finger and thumb just to help me pull the needle out without struggling. It is honestly such a game changer. Next up is embroidery hoops. You really only need a 6-inch hoop for most projects. I will either use a 6-inch hoop or this little 4-inch hoop for everything that I've made. I very rarely have used the larger hoops, but you can usually buy them in a multi-pack and it's just a lot more economical that way. And you have the option of using a larger hoop if you need it. Next item is Aida cloth in this cream color. This is so perfect for any number of projects. And I just buy this off of Amazon. I get questions all the time about whether I treat my Aida to be so stiff. I don't. This is how I buy it. I've actually never purchased Aida that's super soft. Everything that I've purchased myself has been like this, like very firm and like easy to cut through, easy to work with. I've only used soft Aida one time and I received that in a cross stitch kit that I purchased and I was not a fan. So this is great. I have this linked on my page if you're interested. Step is linen or cotton napkins, an apron, t-shirts, whatever you plan on embroidering. Tea towels would be great for this. And the last item on this list is wool blend felt. This is my favorite type of felt to use because it's so much more malleable and a lot softer to use. And I just prefer the feel of them. You can absolutely just buy craft store felt. The price difference isn't huge. Just so you're aware, the supplier that I buy from is Benzie Design. I think it retails for $1 or $1.25 per sheet of wool blend felt, and it's a 9 by 12 sheet. And at the craft store, it's usually about an 8 by 10 sheet for 79 cents, I want to say. So it's not a huge difference in price for what I think is a very big difference in quality. And because I know that a lot of you are here because of my beaded fish projects, I have an honorable mention for number 10 on this list, and that is beading supplies to make your own charms. I buy everything that I use for my beaded fish and beading projects on Amazon. This kit will last you so long. I have used these exact beads without refilling them for so many fish keychains. I've used them with my friends for them to make beaded fish, and I still have not run out. I haven't had to refill any of those bead colors, which is amazing. And then I also purchased these keychain supplies from Amazon. It's a multi-pack that involves like jump rings, keychain rings, hooks, everything you need to make keychains, basically. Of course, because we are working with beading wire, you need your 28 gauge beading wire and wire cutters plus needle nose pliers. All relatively inexpensive. Everything that I use is linked on my page. Anyway, let me know what you think. And if you have these supplies, if there's anything that you have in mind that you're looking for, let me know, comment, DM me. I'm happy to help however I can.